When I read those comments, I couldn't help but feel guilt that I should be eating less. And of course, then the self-doubt kicked in that if I ate less, then I probably lose more. We know that's not true. We need to nourish our bodies. We need to feed our bodies. Otherwise, they're going to go into survival mode. They're going to hold on to every pound. And if they lose anything, it'll be muscle, not fat. Super serious question. Has anyone else's itching gotten worse the longer that they were on a GLP-1 shot? For me, up to now, for the exception of week 2 on my 5 milligram dose where I broke out in a rash with no itching, I have had 0 itching at all. However, this past week shot, week 35, not day 1 or day 2, but on day 3, 4, and 5, I could not stop itching around the injection site. Now, I know that this is an expected side effect of the injection, but I had never had it so intense or severe that I had to stop myself from scratching the injection site area. This particular shot, I did my stomach right. The itching was intense. I couldn't help but remember my mom when I was pregnant telling me, don't scratch or you'll get a stretch mark. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's what she told me. So I try not to scratch anything or anywhere for that reason. And I got some cortisone cream, threw it in my bag and took it with me everywhere. No matter if I was at the store, at work, at church, I was applying and reapplying cortisone cream to stop the itching. I'm on day 6 right now and I have no itching. The redness has mostly gone away. I'm just hoping it doesn't repeat itself. I'm planning to inject in stomach left and hopefully it will not repeat itself. I had a provider check-in, primarily not because I needed medication, but because my prior authorization has expired. It's time to renew my prior authorization. My doctor has to send a prescription in, and that will start the process of the prior authorization renewal. So we had a conversation about what is my next dose. I am currently starting box 2 of 10 milligrams. I have never done any dose longer than 3 months. Naturally, based on my experience, I thought the next step would be to titrate up to 12.5 milligrams. And my doctor very quickly crushed my dreams. She said, Grace, we need to stretch these last 3 doses because after 15 milligrams of Zepbound, we don't have anywhere else to go. So if we take our time with 10 milligrams, 12.5, and 15 milligrams, by the time you get to that last dose, if you're not already at your goal weight, you'll be really close to your goal weight because the weight loss will continue to slow down. Your weight loss may completely surprise you. My plan is to prescribe another 3 months of 10 milligrams. And after you have done 6 months of 10, then I will move you up to 12.5, only if you have stalled. And then we will consider doing 12.5 milligrams for the same duration of time. And at that point, decide if we're gonna go up to 15. If we even need to go up to 15, you might not even need to go to the highest dose, but I want the room there in case we have to resort to the 15 milligrams of Zepbound. So of course, I'm conflicted about this because, I was already looking forward to 12.5 milligrams and she said, no, we're gonna hold off, we're gonna wait, we're gonna do this slow. It reminded me of something that I saw in a live, the round mound of Zepbound. Charles had a live interview with Jamie Seltzer, I believe his name is. And he said something that I know for a lot of us is hard to accept. And I'll be the first one to say it's hard for me to accept this. He said, we should not look at our weight loss journey as something that's gonna take, 6 months, 9 months, or even a year. We should really map out a realistic weight loss plan over 2, 3, 4, or even 5 years. Jamie Seltzer really drops a lot of nuggets that really resonate with GLP-1 users who may not be losing as fast as they expected, as I expected. Mapping out a weight loss journey over a longer period of time really made sense. I think it was easier for me to accept that because I remembered Jamie's words, you know, this is going to take time, and in some cases it's going to take years. And I have to just be okay with that. Some of you guys have asked if I get my medication for free. I do not get my Zepbound for free. I do have insurance coverage, and my insurance covers some of my medication, but I do have an out-of-pocket that goes towards my deductible that I have to pay. And once I meet that deductible, then my insurance will cover the medication 100%. But my deductible is quite big. We're a family of 4, so you can imagine. And it takes a while to, you know, actually be able to reach that. So this whole year I have been paying for a portion of my medication, although I do not take for granted the coverage that I do have that helps me be on a GLP-1. Let's talk about my weigh-in this week. So last week I weighed in at 226.6 pounds. And when I started this journey back in February, I was at 265.4. This week I weighed in at 226 pounds. And I am thrilled that the scale went down and that I didn't go up. But I'm also sad that it wasn't more. I really felt like I was killing it on 10 milligrams. The first box, I was consistently losing over a pound every week. But I know exactly what went wrong this week. And I can't help but blame myself for sabotaging my weight loss efforts this week. In my most recent What I Eat in a Day, I had a lot of amazing feedback. People were really impressed with my macros and how much protein I am intaking versus my calories. But there were some comments that, although they were not shaming at all, some folks said, I cannot believe that you still eat that much. When I read those comments, I couldn't help but feel guilt that I should be eating less. And of course, then the self-doubt kicked in that if I ate less, then I probably lose more. We know that's not true. We need to nourish our bodies. We need to feed our bodies. Otherwise, they're going to go into survival mode. They're going to hold on to every pound. And if they lose anything, it'll be muscle, not fat. I have dealt with 30 plus years of emotional eating. And before Zepbound, if I read a comment like that, and I let a comment like that affect me, I would run into the pantry or the refrigerator and I would eat my heart out. With Zepbound though, that has changed. After I read those comments and, you know, they sat with me and really got to me, I didn't go into the pantry and the fridge and start to eat a bunch. I actually ate a lot less. And I know that I sabotaged my weight loss this week because my plates, I did not meet the caloric deficit that I know I was striving for. There was a day that I basically just ate one meal. And there were other days that I did not finish my meals. And I wasn't following the 80% rule of like, eat until you're 80% full and then stop. No, I had a bite or two and I fought myself in eating the rest because I couldn't help but have those comments come back to mind of, you should be like, I can't believe you eat that much still. Mayor Mindy says it the best. Everybody is different and every body is different. So although I share what I eat, what I actually eat, and it might seem like a lot to some, and some on a GLP-1 journey cannot tolerate, you know, even half of what I'm eating, my body can tolerate it. My body needs it. My body still asks for it. My body wants that fuel. And I am able to eat it. So it was a lesson learned. You know, I'm still learning on this journey. And that was an important lesson to learn, that if I am going to be public about my journey and about what I'm putting on my plate and what the number on the scale is, people are going to have comments about that, and that's okay. I welcome them. I can't allow comments to sit negatively with me. And I shouldn't allow it to have an effect on me that would cause me to sabotage my meal plan for the week. So we learned that. We're moving on. We're gonna eat all of our calories going forward, and we're gonna make sure that we reach our goals. So this was my week 36 weekly weigh-in. I am about to take my 37th shot, or my 5th shot of 10 milligrams. I'm hoping there will be no itching. My plan is to stay on my meal plan, eat my calories, nourish my body, stay up with my movement. Let's chat. In the comments, will you tell me which dose has been the longest for you? For me, 5 milligrams and 7.5 right now are tied at 3 months each, but obviously 10 milligrams seems like it's gonna surpass that, and I'm gonna be on it at least for 6 months. So will you tell me in the comments which dose is the longest for you? Which dose have you been on the longest? Thanks for being here. Let's keep losing friends. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.